Alright, what's going on, guys? This is going to be a final class setup for the SWAT 556, and basically this is the class that I've been using for for I think the second half of the episode, or the episode's games, especially when I unlocked Select Fire and Laser Sight. I think I unlocked Select Fire and Laser Sight in the same game. I forget which game it was, but it was about the same episode. Yeah. Anyways, so these are my perks. I always kept saying to myself, I'm gonna put on Ghost, I'm gonna put on Ghost, but I never really got to get around putting on Ghost anyway. But it worked in the end. It worked out because I wasn't playing against very good people, so Ghost wasn't really a necessity. But if you're playing against good people who constantly throw up UAVs, then you might want to consider putting on Ghost. Other than that, though, I was playing a little bit of Objective and Chaos Mosh Pit, so that's why I initially had Flak Jacket on. Toughness is a pretty good thing to have because this is an assault rifle, so you're going to be ADSing a lot. And with the SWAT 556, it is pretty important to ADS, especially with full auto, and especially with burst, but once you have select fire, you don't need to ever worry about using burst fire ever again. So toughness is pretty good in that respect. Also, as you can see, I'm completely stacked on my primary gun with primary gunfire, so I have no equipment to speak of whatsoever, so fast hands is not really that as important as you might think. That being said, perk 3, Dexterity and Attack Mask. Basically, you're immune with this kind of setup. You're immune to everything that the enemy can throw at you, like equipment, explosives, any of that sort. So you're basically a walking tank with this thing, which is important because of SWAT. If you don't have select fire on this, then it's going to be hard to pick up kills to begin with, because the rate of fire on the SWAT 556 without the burst fire is just, it's bad. But anyway. Moving on to the attachments here. This is the kind of setup that I've found most useful. Laser sight, select fire, and quick draw handle. Basically, you need laser sight and select fire. Select fire especially is the most important attachment you want to have on your SWAT 556 because you want to have full auto on the on your 556. The burst fire, I mean, it's good, but I mean, who goes around using burst fire assault rifle? You know, it doesn't make any sense, and you shouldn't really do that. Unless you're just doing it for kicks, but I mean, then again, don't do it. Fully auto is much better. On top of that, because the SG-556 has a very high rate of fire, lasers, it kind of acts like a SMG, and if you put laser sight on it, its laser sight hipfire spread mimics that of a submachine gun, so you can compete with submachine gun users with the SWAT 556 on full auto. So that's why I have the laser sight on here, because in case you need to hipfire enemies, then you can do so really easily. On top of that, with the quick draw handle, you get to ADS really quickly as well, because the SG-556 is very powerful at long ranges as well. It's pretty much an all-around gun, and with select fire though, you need to understand you need to have select fire on there. So having a quick draw is really useful for snapping out the targets when you need to aim down sights. So quick draw is very important. You don't really need it. Of all these attachments are very important, but quick draw is the least important of them. So it's not. I'm not saying that you don't need quick draw handle. Well, that's kind of what I'm saying, but it's very helpful. Though if you don't feel like running quick draw, you can put on a scope, because the iron sights I find to be very useful, and I actually really like those iron sights. However, I really do like using a reflex sight along with that as well. So if you are trying to look for a scope, then I highly recommend the reflex. ACOG didn't really float my boat. I mean, I just recently unlocked the millimeter scanner, but I'm not really too sure how useful that'll be. And target finder, I tried using target finder on another game, but it's just like, I'm not used to this. So that is that. Anyways, that'll wrap up my review. I almost said review. That'll wrap up my class overview setup, my final setup for the SWAT 556. Hope you guys have enjoyed the episode thus far, and I'll see you guys later.